Sorry, I punched the shit out of my phone because fuck this Nick. Fuck you. Oh, wait. Sorry, I'm so drunk. Fuck. Wait, that's me. Fuck you. Suck my dick. I mean, don't, because you're family. But still, eat ass. Not my ass. Eat someone else's. Eat on my ass's dirty fucking ass. So let's continue this on. He brought a ratchet bitch home who got mad because I mistook her for his actual fucking girlfriend. And then this nigga teamed up with her to try to, like, not jump me, but, like, emotionally be really shitty towards me. And then this nigga went out of his way to be like, hey, call her a British girl, she hates it. Call Tamia a British girl, she hates it. Mock her for her speech impediment, mock her for her accent. And had the nerve to have him and this ratchet ass hoe who I've never met with a fat ass, God bless, but she was a ratchet bitch, so it doesn't matter. She probably had chlamydia. This nigga starts insulting her. I mean, getting some random bitch to insult me in my own house. And it was bad. I remember the specific day, because mind you, at this point, I hated this nigga. Fuck you, light skin. Die on with the light skins. We hate them. At some point, I was like, my mom came home, and I don't remember the context, but I don't remember what I said exactly. All I know is when at some point when I mentioned that some girl came by, some some black girl, ratchet as fuck, came by and was in the house without her consent. Sorry, I'm so drunk. Without her consent. And was insulting me. Let's just say my older brother almost got kicked out the fucking house that night. Because it's like, why would you sneak in a bitch that you know shouldn't be in the house into the house? And it's a ratchet bitch. And then you're cheating on your girlfriend who my mom loves. And then you're also having him insult your sister. Like, yeah, I don't know. My older brother just got really weird at some point. Yeah, just what the fuck. He's got issues. I don't know what his fucking deal is. And, ew. This, just, ew. And I'm not gonna say anything else, but let's just say I wouldn't be shocked if what my mom did to me psychologically when she made him stare at me in the showers when young, I wouldn't be shocked if that did some sort of psychological effect on his mind. I don't know what nice way to say it. It didn't always feel like he looked at me like how someone would look at their brother. And funny enough, my siblings actually got allegations multiple times through their life of like, hey, they don't have a sibling type bond. But it's like, I think those people, it's always someone being like, oh my god, why is your sister hugging your brother pelvis to pelvis and hugging so close in this photo? And I'd have to tell people, it's like, nigga, you don't even hug your siblings at all, and you haven't for like a fucking 2 decades. Like, did you ever consider that they actually just have a normal fucking relationship? Like, come on now. But anyway, let's not talk about it too much. Anyway, fuck Philip. And also, Philip is dead, but that's not relevant. Oh! Also, I forgot to mention, Philip had another fucking kid. I forget this nigga's name. Not like it matters. He's not a part of my family. We should make up a name for him. Let's call him Jorge, because that feels racist. I feel like his name was like Michael. Fuck, shit, I feel bad. I'm sorry. Let's call him Michael. Fuck you, Michael. Bitch ass nigga. He wants, whatever. Fuck you, Michael. So, disgusting. Michael, bitch ass nigga. If you're like, why are you calling him a bitch ass nigga? For no other reason than like once he threw fireworks at my legs and I was in pain and he laughed. I don't like this man. But no one else in the family likes him, so it's okay. Oh god, I'm way too drunk. But I'm gonna get even drunker. So the story of Michael. What's so funny is that no one knew about Michael until my siblings were like maybe 13, 14 or so. But the story gets weird. So Michael, let's say he was like, how old was this nigga? Yeah, he was like in middle school. He went to the same middle school, and let's just say he saw this beautiful, like, Latina black mixed girl, red fiery curls, big, bright, beautiful, damn near neon green eyes, beautiful tan skin, like, very flirty, very playful, very social, and he was like, she seems amazing, I want her. I'm sure you can guess who that was. Yeah. And he also, conveniently, at his exact same school, he had a bully. A basketball playing jock type who was a total fucking narcissistic asshole who would always punch his nuts and just, in the bully's mind, it was just playful locker room talk on a weak kid. But in his mind, it's like, this is the worst nigga ever. I'm sure you can fucking guess who that was. So, Michael went to school, and one day he came home, and he told his mother, he was like, Mama, I met a beautiful girl, beautiful, gorgeous girl, like, and he told his mom all about this amazing girl, and then the mom was like, what's her name? Time to make up a fake name. he was like, oh, the girl's name is like Sarah Magellan. And then the mom is like, Sarah Magellan? I recognize that last name. And the mom thinks about it. Let's draw the mom because why not? And the mom's like, oh, Sarah Magellan? I recognize that last name. You cannot be with that girl because Sarah is actually your sister. And her brother is actually your brother. And so Michael has the worst fucking day of his life realizing, oh shit, the girl I have a crush on is actually my fucking long lost half sister. And my biggest bully is my fucking half brother. What the fuck? And then so the lore is the nasty man Philip got with Michael's mother when she was like 15 or 16 because Michael was because Philip was a fucking pedophile. Obviously, because he also went after my 19-year-old mother. Disgusting. 18-year-old mother. Fucking disgusting. And, she had to deal with a bunch of she had to be a single mother. And it never came up. But I guess later in life she found out that he had multiple kids. And, well, let's just say, this is what gets weird about Michael. Michael hid this as a secret. So he still kept flirting with my sister. Still kept flirting. Up a storm. My sister noticed. My brother noticed. My mom noticed. Everyone knew. And then maybe several years later, he finally was like, hey, Sarah, did you know that we're actually related? Did you know that you're actually my sister? And then he confessed. And my older brother was like, so let me get this straight, creepy ass nigga. You knew this whole time that we were related and brothers, and you waited hella years to tell us? Nah, you're fucking weird, man. I'm gone. I'm cool on that shit. My sister was like, OMG, I have someone else in my life I have family. I don't just have this one psycho fucking light-skinned cunt. And so she met all of Michael's extended Mexican beautiful family. And she had a great time getting to know that, which pissed off my mother. But whatever. And let's just say, years down the line, Michael had himself a kid. And let's just say he still was kind of hooked on my sister, which was weird. So he would come to, the house and ignore the shit out of my older brother, who at that point, he was like, you know what, I should make a bond with this Michael guy. Like, we are related. I shouldn't just fully isolate him. But Michael was like, fuck that nigga with a chainsaw, and said, fuck you. Like, he basically ignored him, and it made my older brother feel bad. I still remember the day that Michael came to visit with his baby, and the way my older brother was just sad as fuck, laying down in my younger brother's bedroom on the floor. And I thought to myself, what the fuck is he doing? This is kind of pathetic. He must be really hurt about something. And then he'd be like, hey, Auntie Sarah, look at the baby. Deep down, my sister was being nice, but she didn't give a shit about Michael's baby. She was like, it doesn't matter as much as my two other siblings I've grown up with my life having kids. I don't know this nigga. He's just like some creepy nigga from middle school who always just wanted me. And yeah, there's not much to say other than yikes. But yeah, Michael still allegedly wants Sarah. Creepy. Oh, I forgot to mention, I have a younger brother. And that one, Jesus, how do I make room for that? Fuck it. Let's figure out. I have a younger brother. He should... How old is he by now? Old enough. And I know you're like, old enough for what? Don't fucking worry about it. God damn, I'm drunk. Fuck me. Jesus. Okay, well, you know what? This actually, yeah, that looks accurate. So let's call him... Let's just call him Little Brother. Like Buddy. Little Brother. He's so cute. Little Bo. He's my favorite sibling. Now, mind you, when my mom had kids with this one bitch-ass nigga, fucking lame-ass nigga, I hate this nigga. Let's not... Ooh, for lore's sake, if you're like, well, Timmy, why don't you like your stepdad? My stepdad is a bitch-ass nigga in a lot of ways. Let's just say he's the type of nigga that hates kids who reads books and only values kids who play sports. He's such a shitty machismo mixed race loser asshole, and he's pathetic, he's feminine, and he tries to overcompensate for the fact that he lets my mom be big dog of the household by being shitty towards my younger sibling, and also me. Like, when the older siblings moved out, he got especially shitty towards us. But yeah, let's just say he got with my mom. And I remember the way my mom told me that he proposed. She didn't even fully... She just kind of was like, I guess. Like, it was like a movie night. All the kids were asleep. This nigga gets down. He doesn't even get down on one knee. He just pulls out a ring and says, you want to get married? You want to do it or not? And she's like, Okay, I guess. And so she gets married to this bitch ass nigga. He had his perks, he had his downfalls, but let's just say the biggest memory I have of this guy is the fact that he tried to cheat on my mom with an alleged 19-year-old, but it was secretly me, his 17-year-old stepdaughter, on a fucking catfish kick account. And he's a disgusting man who cheats on his fucking wife. Mind you, my mom's a stupid, abusive bitch, but like, still. He's a weak ass nigga, the type of nigga to complain when he's asked to plunge a toilet, because it means he can spend less time on Twitter or using Candy Crush or texting bitches half his age or his daughter's fucking age. He's disgusting. We used to have good memories, but he has earned the title of being a piece of shit. But he is the reason my younger brother exists. My younger brother used to be a piece of shit, but it's okay because he was 4. Sometimes you can be evil when you're 4 because you are just a product of your parents. With time, he has been a very sweet, very thoughtful young man, but there was a time where he would beat the shit out of me. Like, he was an evil kid, but it's okay because his parents were evil. One of the most noteworthy things that happened was... What happened? So, my parents got him a Nerf sword. Like, those swords you can get from, like, the Nerf gun people. And he peeled off the plastic to be... I mean, he peeled off the styrofoam that they use and just bare plastic, and he would beat the shit out of me every day after school in middle school, and just with bare fucking plastic, like damn near as thick as my goddamn wrist. And my parents would just be like, oh, let him do it, oh, who cares, and just let him. It's like, and didn't complain that my grades were bad, and they never let me have any privacy, and they kind of parentified me at the time. But either way, who cares? Because he was a child, and at some point I just recognized he's a child, his parents are stupid, and when his parents aren't around because they were fucking stupid and in their own world, I could still bond with him. So we still had a good bond. Even though I still hold a grudge over him fucking with my Nintendogs, I had a very valuable item in Nintendogs, worth like 100 coins. Extremely rare, extremely valuable. He destroyed it, but it's okay because he was 4 years old. But sometimes as a teenager, whenever I would remember it and get mad all over again, I would go to the candy store, I'd get the biggest fucking Snickers bar or Starburst multi-pack, like just the biggest sack of candy I could, and I'd come home and be like, hey, little buddy, you want some candy? He'd say, yeah, and I would hit him full force. I would fling that shit full force at his body, and he would laugh, and I would laugh, and, it got the rage out. But deep down, he's my favorite sibling. And it's like, yeah, he's the sibling who isn't evil. At least I know that as he's grown up, he's fallen, and, like, on his social media and TikTok and shit, I know that he follows like Kevin Samuels type rhetoric, but I know that's just a result of him being born into an evil light skinned family full of evil, stupid motherfuckers. Sadly, my last memory with him is the memory where I had to physically fight my mother. Because at some point, my mother tried to physically attack me over one single unvacuumed corner in a mostly clean bedroom. She has like OCD and autistic like tendencies, which is why I think those two got along so well together and were friends for years. She's definitely like, I think she should get tested for OCD at the very least, but definitely for autism, because it's like I have so many. I'm autistic, but I have so many deep OCD type tendencies because of this bitch. Like, god damn it. Like, fucking Jesus, bitch. Close your legs. Fuck you, bitch. Sorry, I hate this bitch. Fuck her. So she tried to attack me, and sadly, my younger brother was there. I remember the specific way she called for him, and was like, and he was like, and she was like, pin her down, pin her legs down, because deep down she was mad that I was winning when fighting back against her trying to unprovoked commit violence against me unnecessarily. She was mad that I was successfully struggling against her violent antics. And my younger brother was panicked, and he was going to be obedient, of course, because, he was being abused too. But I told him, no, don't do it, don't do it. I love you so much, buddy, don't do it. You don't have to. You don't have to. It's okay. I don't judge you. I forgive you. It's okay. And he panicked because, mind you, I've had several times where I've tried to cook for him, I've fed him, I've given him advice, I tried to let him know that it's like, hey, just because your mom's like, when all the other siblings would be like, oh, listen to your mother, oh, yeah, she's just like that, haha, she's crazy, but, deep down, if she is being evil to you, it's your fault. No. These two niggas are stupid idiots who are brainwashed. I would be the real bitch who's like, yeah, your mother's an abusive cunt. She knows she can talk to you like respectfully and not threaten to hit you, and she responds that way because she's a ratchet ghetto bitch who does not respect her own children, and you deserve to be treated like a person. Like I made sure from like that when I was around, I would let him know you are loving, you deserve to be talked to respectfully. No screaming is necessary. No violence threats are necessary. None of what she's doing is needed, and I want you to know that. And so he had a good bond with me. So he was panicking in that moment because it's like, shit, who do I listen to? Do I listen to my mom, who kind of controls my life? And like, also earlier in the day, she was abusive to him already. Like, she was in a terrible mindset. But then later on, like, he also thought to himself in the moment, probably like, oh shit, or do I listen to Tamia, my sister, who I love so much, who genuinely cares about me? And he didn't know what to do, and he started breaking down crying, which was extra bad because he already saw me fight my grandmother. Like, do you remember when I told you about how my grandmother and me had to fight and how I had to throw her to the ground? Sadly, my younger brother was there to witness it, and he woke up crying and screaming because the image of me being thrown into a wall and having to physically push and thrash and get my grandmother off of me scarred him. So it sucks that he's had to see me fight two maternal figures, and it's like only within like 2 years apart, I think. It really messed with his head, and he started crying and he left the room. I'm so sorry. God, I'm about to start crying. I fucking, sorry. He never deserved that. He was such a sweet kid. Why the fuck would you do that to him? Stupid fucking whore. God, I will always shit on this bitch. She's an evil bitch. Like, I can tell... Oh, yeah. Also, for reference, once she didn't like the... Like, once she got my younger sibling a goldfish. Several times, actually. And my younger brother would cry when the goldfish died. And so she was like, you know what, I'm going to get a cat and I'm going to purposely kill it and poison it on purpose so that then he can stop being such a pussy-ass fucking little gay boy. Like, or she didn't say gay boy, but you know which word she obviously was thinking. She was thinking, I don't want a son that could be a weak-ass little bitch, or the F-slur. And she was like, simply put, she was like, I'm going to get cats so that he can watch them die and learn to be more of a man and be more stoic and like emotionless. That, and also, which was extra evil because it's like, bitch, I'm allergic to cats and you got a cat. Also, fun fact, my dad got a cat for his apartment, and it's like, bitch, you have a daughter that's allergic and you get a cat. Yeah, like, see, this is why we don't even count you as a fucking parent, because you don't even plan for, like, what if my daughter had to be around me type shit. But this bitch is also evil, because it's like, yeah, you know what she did? She got one cat, and then she fell in love with it, and then she was like, you know what, maybe I'll be not psychotic like my fucking mother. And then she got 3 more cats, and then she basically was like, hey, we don't want to see Tamia anyway, she'll just be stuck in her room all the time. And for years, I had to wear long sleeves, socks, and long pants, and never be around anywhere but my bedroom. Just rarely, until my grandmother moved in and started shitting all over the place. And then it's like I had to basically spend years like, okay, I can either go into a living room and a kitchen covered in cat hairs and sit there, or I can go into my bedroom where there's literal feces on the wall because of my evil ass grandmother. Jesus Christ. Simply put, if you're ever like, why does Timmy seem so psychotic? Look at the fucking bloodline I've got. Like, Jesus Christ. It's like I had to choose between living in my sewer-like bedroom with my grandmother sharding all the fucking time relentlessly, and I'm not even kidding, it's just, and feces on the wall, or I could choose to be in a cat, like in any other common space that had cat hairs riddled everywhere and would cause me constant allergic reactions. So simply put, if you ever see me call my mom a stupid fucking whore, she deserves it. If you ever see me call my grandmother a stupid fucking whore, this whore also deserves it. And yeah, stupid fucking bitches, I hate them. Yeah. But my younger brother is lovely. I have faith in him. I hope he lives up to it. But if not, then at least I can use the faith for myself. But he's the sibling I have a very positive bond with. I appreciate him. I hope he's well. Let's see. Anything else? Oh, shit. We didn't even get to the good part. My fucking dad's side. So, stupid ass bitch. Sorry, pardon my language. Fucking idiot. So, let me tell you about the way my grandparents met. So let me make up some names. Let's just say, here's my grandmother. Beautiful lady. Alright, you can tell I'm so ring up because I'm getting better at drawing. That's not how she looks. She is bigger. Yeah, she has the big haired, floofy. You know, it was the 80s or the 60s. You know, it was the 70s. People had big hair. So, I had a beautiful grandmother on this side. Now, when she was a young girl, She had so much wrong with her, but it's okay, because who doesn't when you're a young girl in the fucking 50s? Like, you could just sneeze the wrong way and they'd be like, that's not feminine, you get a lobotomy. So, she sadly had to suffer in her childhood from, like, seeing bad visuals. God, this is such an... I feel bad, I fucked up this artwork. It's okay. She suffered through mental disorders. Like, she would see things that weren't there, and she would tell her mom, and her mom would just tell her to bear with it, because it's like, you know, like, she didn't want to send her daughter to an asylum or anything. She was just like, I know, you're seeing things and they're terrifying, they're scary. You just have to ignore it. Allegedly, my, let's see, there's multiple forms of the lineage in my bloodline. Like, for my mom, and also I forgot to include other siblings, but who gives a fuck? Okay, I'll fucking include them. My grandmother also had 2 aunts who were also annoying light bright bitches with green eyes. And they were like, hey, we are actually descendants from Seminole Native Americans. And then my grandmother, she was like, no, we are actually Chickasaw. We are Chickasaw. These bitches got it wrong, and I'm not sure who's right, because all of these niggas are evil. But I will say, it's like 2 beats against 1, so it's like, okay, Seminole it is. Seminole Native American is our descendant. Black and Seminole, something like that. Also, did I mention that my granddad, a great-grandfather, cheated on my great-grandmother with some random floozy? I'm sure I mentioned that. We don't hear much about him, but it fucked up my grandmother, so I wouldn't be shocked if that did the way she perceives love. Even then, there's a lot of... She just was a strange, demented individual in a lot of ways, but whatever. So, God, the way how did I draw my grandmother better drunk on this side than this when I'm sobering up? Jesus Christ, fuck, I feel so bad. God, how do I even fix this? Alright, fuck, let's just pretend I did well. Let's give her a name. Let's call her Cece. My grandmother on my dad's side, Cece, so my dad's mom. God, I fucked her up, I'm so sorry. Cece saw things, and her family was like, keep quiet about it, and so she did. But it's still, like, you know, she still saw things, she just had to be quiet about it, because it's like, do you want a lobotomy? Do you want to get put in a insane asylum? No, so you tolerate it so that you could get a husband and have a good, effective life, and you just be quiet about what you see. The way she met my grandfather, evil-ass nigga, who fucked up tons of bloodlines, I don't even know how to draw this nigga. Let's just draw him like this, because fuck it, you know? So, the way my grandmother tells the story is as if it's a romance story. She'll say something like, oh, hey, she was sitting at her sister's balcony. Like, you know, she was wearing a robe with nothing underneath it on the patio balcony of the apartment building. And then as she's there in her robe, looking at the beautiful city skyline and the view and feeling the sun on her skin and just enjoying the sights, she hears the sounds of, well, I'll be damned. And she looks down and she sees that there's some creepy motherfucker staring up at her pussy, like, through her robe from the bottom floor. So she yelps, ah! And she rushes into her sister's apartment and locks the fucking door. This psycho-ass nigga stomps his way up and then bangs on the door, knocking on it and shit, relentlessly until she opens. She's like, what? He's like, hey, how you doing? What's your name? She's like, go away. She tries to close the door. This nigga puts his foot in the door. And he's like, I said, what's your name? I'm not leaving until you tell me your name. And she was like, my name's Cece. And he was like, that's a pretty ass name. What you doing out here? And mind you, allegedly to her, obviously, he looked some type of good. He would not, like, you know, like flirting versus harassment, but it's like, but it's still harassment. He just looked good to her taste. I don't know what her taste was, but she was like, oh, this is my sister's place. They talked a little bit and he was like, I'll see you around then. And she was annoyed and disturbed by this nigga, but you know what? Next thing you know, they had a weird little friendship where every time, like, she went outside, he was there, and he would, like, smoke or whatever the fuck. They'd just chill on their patio talking for hours. They had a really good bond. Let's just say one thing led to another. They obviously canoodled and got married, and let's just say my dad was born as the firstborn of the family. She also had several other kids, but it's not worth mentioning just for the sake of I don't know their lore. But let's just say this nigga was abusive, and let's not, like, there's just no. He died recently. What's fucked up is that I found out this year that he actually had a second family, but not even he knew about it. I guess at some point when my mom was pregnant with my dad, this asshole found a random ass light skinned bitch and cheated and had a fling and didn't leave his number and left by the morning, and so the light skinned woman had a baby, and then let's just say thank God for technology, because years down the line the light skinned woman was like, hey, do you know a man named, let's say, I don't know, make up a name, let's say the light skinned woman was like, light skinned elderly woman reached out to one of my aunts, like my dad's sisters, and it was like, do you know a man named Daniel? Can you give him our contact information? Let's just say that was when, like, thank God for Facebook. So he found out, hey, you've had a secret daughter this whole time. Would you like to meet her? He was shook as fuck. He was like, oh, shit. Oh. Oh, and he didn't even know he had a daughter in his 40s. He passed away before I think he ever met him, but everyone else in the family met him, and my grandmother specifically is like, never fucking introduced me to that bitch. And she was just heartbroken and distressed. I feel bad for her, but, sad things. Terrible things. Men are disgusting. We hate them. Anything else we should say? Oh, my fucking grandmother. Okay, let's talk about this. My grandmother, also, she's like black, but she's mixed with something else. All I know is, I think she speaks like Arabic or Amharic. She studied Arabic. I don't know if she speaks Amharic, but she's Muslim. At some point, she just decided to be Muslim. I don't know why. Not my fucking business. But she does say that on her side of the family, there's like spiritual tendencies. So, like, spiritual urges. And she told me later in life, she was like, to me, if you ever see things, let me know. And I was like, I've been seeing things my whole life. I would have loved if you would have told me sooner, but I get why you didn't, because back in your day, people like us would have been lobotomized. But I guess, like, whatever spiritual shit she has jumped from my dad into me. And for some reason, she's just very into Allah and Muslim shit, but she doesn't even follow the rules properly. And none of her descendants do either. Obviously, because I was born from premarital sex. Oh, also my grandmother, my whole life, has made jokes about how I should have been aborted. Yeah, it's a reason we don't talk. She's not, like, she likes to act like she's a good lady, but she's not. We know what she is. And I remember around the pandemic, when the first 3 days in the shutdown, she reached out to me. She was like, Tamita, go and take your shahada so that you can be a Muslim, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, why would I do that? And she was like, because you should. It's the way of Allah. And I told my mom about this, and my mom has always fucking hated my grandmother, because my grandmother's a fucking cunt, and so is my mom. They had rightful reasons to hate each other. And simply put, my mom was like little shit. Like, throughout life, it's like, whenever I would see my grandmother growing up, like, I found out about my grandmother and started seeing her consistently around, like, age 11 or 12. Thank God for that, because my mom was kind of neglecting me. When my mom saw my sister as the favorite, I would get neglected. So then it's like, oh, sorry. So when my mom was like, yeah, let's do mommy-daughter photos and go out for jewelry and shopping and this and that, get whatever you want, I would be the one with the fucked up braids and the lack of hygiene supplies. And so my grandma and her side of the family had to reach out and be like, all right, let's get her eyebrows waxed, let's get her some skincare, some makeup, and, like, let's get her hair done and buy her school clothes, because her mom will just keep buying her shitty shit from the children's place when this little girl needs to be at Macy's. Let's use our adult money to help her. God bless them for that. Thank God, because who knows what would have happened if only my mom was left to be the sole caretaker. And I remember my sister envied me for that, but it's like, trust me, whenever I would come around, my dad would ignore me or be outright, I wouldn't say hostile, just like, he would act in an extremely pathetic way that it's like, you would not envy. Let's continue on. So, where was I going with this? Oh, I guess here's a relevant thing. I remember when my mom was giving birth, my grandmother was there. My dad was there, and his two sisters, who I might as well add, because fuck it. He had one sister who was, like, a year younger. Let's call her Annie, because fuck it. She had her, And then he had another sister. Let's call her Rosie, because that's Roxy. Yeah, Rosie. And, Rosie was a teenage girl or so. So let's just say when my mom was giving birth to me, my dad was there and he was pathetic, but so was his mom. And his mom was there in all her Muslim glory, being like, this could have all been avoided. Like, my mom is having the worst fucking pregnancy of her goddamn life, screaming, crying, miserable pain for hours and hours and hours on end. I was one of the worst fucking pregnancy push-outs she had. Like, when she pushed out my older brother, he slid out easy as fuck, like less than an hour. Sister slid out easy as fuck. Me, I took over fucking 13 hours of pushing. Like, fuck, like, Jesus. And simply put, my grandmother was there at first during the first hour, and she just kept making references to how I should have been aborted. It's like, bitch, I'm literally about to start crowning any second now, even though any second was really 12 hours from now. But she was like, just so you know, this all could have been avoided. You could have avoided this. And she was mocking my mother's pain. And that pissed off my mom. And then also my aunt Vazi was there. And she was wearing like an outfit that pissed off my mom. She was wearing like a baby fat crop top, low-rise jeans, like hoochie boots, waist chains, hella jewelry, stupid ass hat. However someone was dressed if they were a baby fat wearing teenager who was iced out as fuck in the early 2000s or late 90s, early 2000s. Dressing like Kimora Lee Simmons on crack. And so my aunt Vazi was like, oh my god, how long do we have to be there? This is so gross. This is so annoying. Fuck. And as my grandmother keeps being like, yeah, this could have been avoided. She could have been aborted. My mom is just like, everybody except for this nigga, get the fuck out now. And so they all had to get the fuck out. But even then, later in life, like several times when I was 11, when I was 12, when I was 15, even in when I hit 20, my grandmother would not stop making references about how my parents getting together was a mistake and how I should have been aborted. Fuck you. It's so weird having someone who's like, I pray for you all the time, Tamia, but then also is like, guess what, bitch? You should have been aborted. It's like, girl, fuck you. Fuck her. Let's not talk about her too much. Let's just say at some point she was one of the women I looked up to most for being classy and elegant, like an older Diane Carroll. And let's just say she was just a bonehead in a lot of ways. Like, let me not entirely discredit her. Let's just say she's done enough stupid shit in her lifetime where she has tarnished whatever positive legacy she had by being petty and vindictive. And also, I remember my mom mentioned at some point that Cece, when my mom first had me and was trying to get my dad to be involved in shit and trying to be peaceful, because, my mom has a temperament, but she still isn't, like, totally evil, or wasn't when she was younger. She still had soul to her. My aunt, my grandma Cece would be like, oh, we never have pictures of Tamia. We never have pictures of Tamia. It's like, you don't want us to acknowledge her. How do you expect us to be around if you don't even act like she's a part of the family for us? And so my mom went, after months and months of complaining, she compiled a huge fucking poster that had like 18 photos of me. Beautiful. And she gave it to my grandma Cece and was like, here you go, here's a picture of your granddaughter. In fact, here's multiple pictures. You will love it. Absolutely. Just in all its glory, fucking take that, Cece. And you know what Grandma Cece did? She was like, why aren't there pictures of the other children? And my mom was like, what? And she was like, yeah, there's no pictures of like Sarah and your son, like, oh. And she just was making up reasons to be disappointed, to piss off my mother. I remember the most noteworthy thing that happened was at some point my mother and my grandmother and my dad, there was some sort of drama with them. And how do I put this? They both are the types of ladies, sorry, I'll be semi-respectful. The types of ladies where you can't trust either of their perspectives because they both do snake shit. All I know is once something happened where my mom drove up to my dad and grandma's place and just started throwing hella baby shit that was allegedly gifted to her at their door and causing a huge fucking scene, and the whole neighborhood saw it, and like baby shit that was gifted to her was trash. I'll put it this way. I know my mom is a person. Sounds like some shit she'd do, but I know my grandmother too. I know she did something more to cause that, because my mom did have a terrible temper, but back then, you probably had to do some really sneak shit to make her like that. Like, come on now. She tried when she was younger. She tried to be a good human being. She fucked up, but she tried. I'm just saying. Come on now. Please. Anyway. And also my mom always was annoyed because, I'd go over to my grandma's house and my grandma would be like, oh, dress modest, dress this, dress that. And so I would, like, show up modest and dressed because it's like, I figured, oh, okay, that's typical for a granddaughter, yo. Your granny don't need to see your cleavage and your legs or whatever. But my mom still, like, other things. I would come home like, oh, hey, they sell bacon milkshakes at Denny's. That seems like that's pretty bad. And then my mom, okay, never mind. My mom was kind of a temperamental bitch. She'd fly off the handle like, fuck you, it's okay. It's someone's American right to eat bacon milkshakes. Fuck you. And it's like, what? And she would somehow find an issue with her 11-year-old daughter saying that bacon milkshakes sounded unhealthy and disgusting. But it's because she was also annoyed by Cece's influence. And of course, it was... Let's just say when I was like, the pandemic happened, I was 19, and I remember the first week of the pandemic when I told my mom, I was like, hey, for some reason, Grandma Cece tried to basically demand that I take my shahada. Like, she called up my dad and went off on that nigga so bad and was like, don't tell your stupid ass fucking stupid Harvey mother to not force my baby to be Muslim. My dad was like, okay. And yeah, that was the last time me being trying to get me to be Muslim came up. Like, I wouldn't agree to that under any circumstances. No, thank you. I like sucking dick and existing and having fun and eating bacon. Do I want to talk about my dad? Fuck it, while I'm here. What? There's barely anything to say. I don't like this. Just Jesus. Ugh. He had moments that one could define as not bad. Oh God, I might throw up. So to sum it up, at some point, this bitch ass nigga, he did sign me up for like a college scholarship from his job that would have possibly given me admission to any college I wanted, or at least would have paid for like a pretty solid amount of college. But he was so absent of a parent that he didn't know about the absolute turmoil that was going on at home for me from my mother, or that was happening for me at school. He was such an absent parent that I remember in my teen years, he did try to make an effort to reach out more. He'd be like, hey, sweetheart, how are you? How's your family? Da-da-da-da-da. We should meet up. We should go to the seafood restaurant. And I'd be like, But I'll put it this way. At that point, it was too late. Because for me, let's say I remember when I was 14, he gifted me a cell phone for my birthday. Mainly because I needed one for high school. It was a good gift, and I'm glad he got it for me. But I also remember that when, we had nothing to talk about. He didn't make an effort to ask about me. I'd try to ask about him, and he'd give me one-word answers. It was not good. And also, you're supposed to say that young girls look pretty. He wasn't the type to do that, but it's okay, because I already knew I was the shit. But it was just like, come on, nigga. Like, several times we would meet, like, whether it was me meeting my grandmother or me meeting him, and he just kind of acted like he didn't want to be there, or that my presence didn't fucking matter, or that it's like, it was just like a chore to cross off a list. I have a lot of stories, but I don't feel like crying today. Remember when I said my mom beat the shit out of me for like 8 to 12 hours and stripped me naked and tried to make me sleep on the bathroom floor and all that other, that. So, he was there. At no point did he go, hey, that's my flesh and blood, don't do that to my kid. He let her do it. And then at most, maybe because I was just crying so loud and trying to refuse sleeping on the bathroom floor, he convinced her to, like, let me sleep in the bed. But then he also was, like, holding her hand, trying to, like, convince her to get back together with him. So it's like, I knew subconsciously from a young age that this is not a nigga who's good for you. Also, funny enough, the last time I ever saw my mother, or one of the last final 2 times, this nigga had the nerve, after the final time I had ever seen my mother, to be like, you shouldn't have hit your mother. I know she tried to attack you first, but you shouldn't have tried to hit back and defend yourself. And it's like, nigga, you bragged to me about hitting my mother back in the day, because you knew that she's the angry ass bitch who hits for no reason. And you wanna, what the fuck is wrong with you? But we all know what's wrong with him. We saw his fucking ancestors, like, no full offense. I'm sorry. It's like, this nigga was a abusive, cheating asshole. She was a shitty, emotionally manipulative cunt. He likes emotionally manipulative cunts. Those 2 idiots got together, and it's like, now you're trying to be like, hey, daughter who I have let historically get abused by her mother her entire fucking life and never stepped in once, even when I knew how fucking terrible it was. And I remember several times I went to him for refuge. He didn't do shit. He's a disgusting bastard, and he deserves never being seen again. There's a reason he's written out of history so much with me. Let's say it like this. But yeah, he really tried to be like, you shouldn't have hit your mother, and I agree with you, blah, 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 blah. And, yeah. The final time I saw him, he cried because he realized I didn't give a single shit about him and was fine never seeing him again. He's just a loser. He's just a punk-ass bitch. The type of nigga who had to be told by Grandma Cece, oh, hug your baby! And he would grimace and, like, act like I was a fucking plague to be around. It's like, come on, nigga. Like, ew. Like, trust me, I wasn't the biggest fan of your ass either, but you could have tried. I remember when I told him about how when I was younger, I didn't even know he was my dad. I thought he was, like, a distant cousin or something. This nigga tried to use the excuse of, oh, a phone works both ways. It's like, no, it doesn't, bitch ass. Or it's like, I was 4. Why do I need to call you? You can call me, you stupid fucking whore. Fuck you. I was out here starving, living in shit-covered walls with a psycho hose beast who pulled a gun on you, and an abusive fucking cunt, and you knew she was evil. And I was suffering, and where were you? You were out there taking the bitch who you use as a placeholder out to fancy fucking seafood and getting a cat at your 1-bedroom apartment, you stupid, absent, disgusting fuck. Fuck you. Kill yourself. So that's a little mean. But, well, do I give a fuck? No, because you know what? There's been 1,000 times over I almost killed myself, and that nigga was not around. Probably over. Actually, no, I can. More like 8,000 times. Where was he? He was like, fuck that nigga. Funny enough, me and my sister both had separate moments of crying to our mother because we both realized that we didn't give a fuck about our fathers. Like, with like a week apart, funny enough, me and my sister both cried to our mother on some, oh, like, I remember I cried to my mother because I heard about my dad having a heart attack, and I was like, I feel like a bad person because I don't care. Like, he wasn't around. I don't. If he died, I wouldn't care. Is that a bad thing? Am I a bad person? And my mom felt heartbroken because my sister had that rant with her the week before about her own shitty rapist dad who was homeless and an alcoholic. And my mom felt so bad for the man she picked. The men she picked to raise her daughters. I mean, to give her daughters, because she thought, God damn, I have daughters out here worrying that they're psychopaths. Because deep down, I have niggas who don't give a shit about them and don't feel any remorse about what they're going through, or haven't tried to be there for them, and they're feeling like they're the evil ones, these little girls. So yeah, fuck my dad and fuck Philip. Yeah. Look at me, I'm finally crying. But it's also because I have a severe headache because I drank a lot today. Not because I'm depressed. Or actually, yeah, but like, not for the reasons you would think. Anything else I want to talk about? Oh, I mentioned before about how my dad was like, you would suspect he has autism because he's like the quiet type, bad, like, I don't want to talk about my memories with him. He doesn't deserve to be speaking about. He's terrible. He's a lame ass nigga. Let's just say he's emotionally apathetic. He doesn't convey his emotions well. Aside from gifts, he would do it with like financial, but otherwise he didn't know how to convey his emotions well to anybody for that point. At least seemingly from what I could tell. He was obsessed with Marvel comics. He could probably tell you more about like Boku no Hero Academia than he can tell you about me, because he's a slut. And he was just like just everyone knew him as quiet, stoic, reserved, not saying much. Not much to say, not much about him. Easily could think that he's the one who gave me autism, but deep down my mother, she explained that, like, she has shown signs of, like, high masking behavior. Like, she even explained that once she left high school, she truly didn't give a shit about anyone else she was around, because it was more like she got along with them well for survival's sake. She learned how to act like the girls in the popular movies. She learned how to socialize, how to be sweet, charming, all that from them. And deep down, she knew that she was just the girl who secretly read books all the time and kept to herself. I see why those two got together. Would have been nice if they had working fucking condoms, but whatever. Anything else to say? Not much. But yeah, that's quite a fucking bit. Oh shit, the spiritual stuff. Yeah, so my grandmother on this side always claimed that she had spiritual ties to shit. Which is so, like, and she was like, she said some specific phrase to me. I think she said something about the veil is thin within our family bloodlines, because this side of the family also has Native American in them, and some sort of mysticism that just isn't addressed much. I have a photo of like of someone I descended from, but you know, it just wasn't addressed much. So she would say that she would see spiritual signs, and it's interesting that for her she got a calling to Allah. For me, I don't feel that way, but it is funny that it skipped all the way to me, and I have the spiritual shit now, and it comes my way. It's nice that she warned me, at least. That made some of my 20s easier and explained quite a bit of things. Other things go unanswered, but whatever, some things got explained. And simply put, yeah, she would. It was very interesting, and it explained quite a bit of things I saw and experienced, and I won't talk much about it, but it is nice to be like, okay, I got that from her. But allegedly, I've mentioned it before, my aunt on my fucking mom's side, you know, my mom's sister, who, like, allegedly my grandmother, okay, let's start off small. I remember once my grandmother was like, I see something in the bathtub in the bathroom. Something is in there. And I told her, I was like, yeah, I get the feeling too. Anytime growing up, I've lived in that house for like my whole life. I don't remember, like, it just felt like there was an energy in the bathtub. And what's interesting is that with the energy in the bathtub, I felt it was like menacing, But I always kept the glass doors open because I wanted to watch it directly and keep an eye on it. I didn't trust it behind closed doors. But my grandmother, she detected the same thing. So, but she always closed it because she didn't want to look at it directly. I don't know what the fuck is in the bathtub of my old house, but it's very interesting to think about. And then I remember I even told her, it's like, yeah, my younger sibling says he sees something in there too. And he's told me that. And she was like, oh! And I was like, well, he's also been watching a lot of paranormal activity type TV shows and ghost hunting TV shows. Don't take it too personal. And she was like, oh, yeah, don't. Who gives a fuck about what this still. Like, he was 9 at the time or something. He was like, who gives a fuck about what he thinks? But she did tell me, she was like, did you know that your aunt, your mom's sister, that she was able to guess when people would die, so she would have dreams with the dates and times of when people would die, and she'd wake up on those days and those people would be dead. I was like, that's crazy. And then I talked to my aunt about it. I was like, is that true? And my aunt was like, no, I usually had those dreams after they died. Your grandma's just retarded. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that adds up. And you know what? Yeah, she probably fucking was. Yeah, but but either way, it's still interesting. It's still interesting. And so yeah, it's like, I guess the spiritual and also whatever other mental illnesses from that side trickled down onto me, and like, it's just interesting. So yeah, that's the fun little family tree we've got so far that I feel like addressing. Look at that masterpiece out here drunk as fuck. But yeah, I think that's all I want to say for today. But God bless. And now it's me, and I get to figure out what the fuck I'm gonna do, because I came and descended from all these people with their fucked up parents. Oh, they already mentioned that oh yeah, I don't know if I mentioned. My grandma on this side, she had the chance to go to China for basketball, and she wasn't allowed the chance, and she was always bitter about it. And I think that was a huge turning point to when she started being more selfish, narcissistic, and evil. She actually estranged her mother for a bit. She just moved out by grabbing all her shit with her friends and storming out of the apartment. And then I don't know, I guess my mom always felt guilty. She didn't want to do the same thing to her mother, but that sacrificed her mental health and also my bond with her as well, even worse. And yeah, yeah, is there anything else I want to say? Not really. I think that's enough. I feel like, am I missing out on anything? I feel like not so much. But yeah, shout out to my like Native American. Also, we never learned what Native American is on this side. Funny enough, my grandmother at first, she was like, we have Indian in us," and I was like, "Oh shit!" And I was looking up all sorts of like Punjabi, like Guj type shit, and then she had to specify like months later. She was like, "No, I mean Native American." It's like, oh, it's like, girl, you almost had my brown ass adopting into a whole other culture. Do you know how many Indian friends I got in that time period, girl? You gotta be very specific. So yeah, shout out to that. Uh, and Ethiopian people love me, and they see me, and they're like, you know what, you look Ethiopian, so just tell people you're Habesha, and it's like, oh, okay, salam, God bless. That's so fucking funny, and it adds up because it's like, you know what, my grandmother is Muslim and she speaks Arabic and maybe Amharic, so it's like, and it's like, yeah, fuck it. We don't know what type of black she is. All we know is that she is brown, like mocha, and I'm dulce de leche or some shit like that. And yeah, anyway, I think that's all I want to say. I'm gonna drink water. Bye.